Dads, we need to talk. Specifically about this.
Oh.
Look, I get it. The dad bod is a cultural icon. It says, I have put meat on the table. I have grilled that meat. I have eaten that meat. But did you know that your fitness is not just about you? Nope, it's about your kids. And I'm not just talking about being fit so you can keep up with them. I'm talking about their future health. Your kids are watching everything you do, the good, the bad, and the lazy. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hey, this is one of those like dad wisdom things, right? Maybe that's true, but there's actual science behind this. Actually, lots of it. Some researchers have spent decades studying how parents' fitness levels influence their child's health. And the findings are pretty clear. Dads matter a lot. The reality is childhood obesity has become a full-blown crisis. As of 2012, nearly 1/3 of young people ages 2 to 19 were classified as obese or overweight. And here's the kicker. Kids aren't getting enough movement. The CDC recommends that the kids get at least 1 hour of physical activity every day. But only 42% of kids between the ages of 6 and 11 achieve that. And a shockingly low 8% between the ages of 12 and 17 hit that 1 hour mark.
What?
Parents play a crucial role in shaping their kids' relationship with physical activity. So today we're gonna break this down. I'm gonna walk you through 3 major studies, which I'll link in the description, that proves what I'm saying here. We'll start with how the kids mirror our habits. Then we'll look at how our body composition influences theirs. Lastly, we'll talk about how we can actively support their health and fitness in practical ways. And stay tuned to the end for one bonus tip that science says actually can help you live longer. All right, ready for this? Let's dive in. First up, we've got the role model effect. So there's research from the Framingham Heart Study, which tracked multiple generations of families, shows that if a parent is physically active, a child is twice as likely to be physically active as well. And if both parents are active, that number jumps to 6 times as likely for the child to be active like their parents. Which makes sense though, right? Picture this, one dad, he spends his Saturdays going on bike rides and taking his kids with him. Another dad spends every Saturday sitting on the couch, binge watching sports, instead of going out and playing them. Which of those kids do you think are more likely to be active? That's the difference between a kid growing up seeing movement and activity as being natural and a fun part of life, versus a kid who never really gets to discover how great it feels to be active. When we make fitness a part of our family time, we're not only setting an example, we're giving them memories and habits that are going to stick with them for life. There's an even bigger takeaway here. Another study found that children with active mothers are 2 times as likely to be active as well, which corroborates the previous Framingham study. But even further to the point, this study shows children of active fathers are 3.5 times more likely to be active as well. And this study also confirmed that when both parents are active, the child is 6 times more likely to be active. And the impact of a father's health is especially strong on young boys, making them 7.2 times more likely to be active if their father is. The bottom line here, your commitment to your fitness is not just personal, it's generational. Because why? If you can make your kid 7 times more likely to be active as an adult, then guess what your grandkids are gonna be. All right, dads, we all know getting outside with the family is awesome. But let's be real, buying outdoor gear for the whole fam is getting ridiculously expensive. That's where the sponsor of this video comes in. Guys, their name is Foxelli, and they are a game changer. They make high quality, but budget-friendly outdoor gear that lets you get outside without having to take out a second mortgage. Foxelli has everything you need to be outfitted from headlamp down to hiking boot and pretty much everything in between. They've even got some cool things like hammocks or waders, even some heated clothing gear. And nothing says dad level comfort like heated socks in the middle of a cold camping trip. Recently, I've been trying out their hiking sticks. And guys, let me tell you, for the price that you're paying, these things are awesome. You're getting a ton of value for a very high quality, low weight, but effective product. And the best thing about Foxelli is they're built to last. It's not just cheap gear that's only gonna last you 1 season. They say every product that they produce is tested in real world conditions and it can handle the wear and tear of actual adventures. So if you want durable, reliable gear that won't destroy your budget, check out the Foxelli link in the description, because the only thing you should be overspending on is snacks for the kids and coffee. So much coffee. Back to the video. All right, now let's talk about the body composition connection. Here's where it gets a little personal. Dads, your body fat is a direct indicator and predictor of your preteen daughter's body fat. The longitudinal study done, which just means studying the same people over a long period of time, where they were tracking father-daughter pairs, and they found that a dad's weight and fitness level significantly impacted and influenced their daughter's future health, even more than their mother. The study showed that the father's total and percentage of body fat were the main predictors of changes of his daughter's body fat. And this isn't just genetics, this is behavior modeling. If dad normalizes fast food and sedentary habits, well, that sticks with her too. Dads, the way you eat, move, and live directly shape your daughter's long-term health trajectory. Another key factor here that the studies show, the parental perception of their child's competence in physical activity. There's one study that found that while a mother's perception influenced how confident a child felt in their abilities, but a father's perception is actually directly linked to the child's physical activity levels. So if you believe your child is capable and encourage them, they'll step it up. If you doubt them, even unintentionally, they're less likely to try. All right. Lastly, we've got the support system. So it's not just about what we do, it's about how we encourage them. Research shows on activity-related parenting practices found that supportive dads make all the difference. There was a study done on 180 9-year-old girls, and it identifies 2 key ways that parents promote physical activity. Firstly is logistics support. That same study of the 9-year-old girls found that typically mothers tend to provide the logistics support, the scheduling, the driving, the coordination, and fathers, on the other hand, it was more crucial for them to provide the explicit modeling, demonstrating active behavior. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There was another study done across 5 years studying 374 adolescents, so ages 12 to 17, and it found that specific types of parental support have both immediate and long-term lasting effects on physical activity. And similarly, this study broke down the support between tangible support, like logistics, and intangible support, like encouragement. But get this, parental support at age 12 was still positively associated with physical activity up to 5 years later. And particularly powerful was co-participation. So actually being active with your kids. There is one warning here too. The study found that controlling behaviors like pressuring your kids to be active or making them feel guilty would actually decrease their physical activity. And so control was actually seen as a negative predictor of activity levels. So the takeaway, support, don't force. Participate, don't preach. And start early, because the benefits of supporting your kids' activities today can still be influencing them and their activity levels 5 years down the road. So, and this study's linked down below too. This one is from the Beets, Cardinal, and Alderman study. And it also says that it's about how we encourage, and shows that research on activity-related parenting practices found that supportive dads make all the difference. So that's, like I said, direct support, which is taking them hiking, signing them up for activities, just being active together, playing baseball in the backyard. Indirect support, encouraging them to be active, setting screen time limits, encouraging them to go outside, and avoiding negative influence of discouraging activity by actually prioritizing convenience or screen-based entertainment. And here's the cool part, even parents with a more sedentary lifestyle can still encourage an active lifestyle for your kids. These studies show as long as parents provide positive encouragement, access and opportunities to activities, and a positive mindset around fitness, their kids can still develop healthy exercise habits. So even if you're not planning to sign up for that next Ironman race, that's okay. Your attitude matters more than you think. So I hope that's encouraging. Do it for them. It's not just to look good at the neighborhood barbecue, not just so you can like chase after your toddler without needing to call for a medical extraction. It's because your kids deserve a healthy role model.
Okay.
And if all of that wasn't motivation enough, let's talk about that tip on longevity. I found this meta-analysis that was done on 7 different studies, which tracked over 175,000 people, and that found a clear link between walking more and living longer. It's fascinating. The analysis actually shows that for every extra 1,000 steps that you average taking every day, you actually decrease your risk of early death by 12%. And for those over 70, that actually went up to 13%. So the benefits even continue into later in life. So if you're wondering about if that, magic 10,000 steps a day is really just like a fitness myth, here's your answer. People that hit that 10,000 steps per day on average had less than half the risk of dying early than those who were mostly sedentary. This analysis shows that this benefit starts at about 2,700 steps and goes all the way up to 17,000 steps per day. You can gain that 12% per 1,000 steps, all the way up to 17,000 steps. And one more cool thing about the 10,000 steps a day, not only does it increase your chances for a longer life, but you actually cut your chances of getting sick in half compared to those who don't walk that much. That's a really big difference. So the simple message is more movement means longer life for you and for your kids. So take the first step, dads. Walk a little more, move a little more. Make sure your kids see you doing it. Your activity today might just change their future and might lengthen yours. And start small if you have to. One push-up, one jog, one less slice of pizza at the dinner table. And those little things start to add up. If you know of another dad that would like to hear this, please share it with them. Let's support each other while we're figuring this whole thing out. And if you'll excuse me, I have a date with some burpees. Pray for me.